Welcome first. Welcome to first. We're going live for the first time in first history. So I just wanted to welcome y'all as I often do and say hi. Hi. You know, we're about to get this thing going like we haven't done it before. Very impressed with the setup. I know you see all the purple behind me. You know, you see John Randall over there. You see the Vikings gear right there, right here. You know, we're gonna talk about a couple things today. I'm not gonna give you too much on the first live feed. Not too much, but just enough. Anyway, first thing we're talking about today, Terrell Owens Hall of Fame business. Now, let's get right into it. I'm gonna tell you my view on it. Terrell, not Terrell. Terrell Owens has won this thing one way or the other. He's coming out on top. Because if you look at it, he's gonna have notoriety. Notoriety of being the first person to not show up to the Hall of Fame introduction ceremony, if he holds true with that. And if he does show up, end up showing up, he can be the first person to say they weren't coming to the Hall of Fame ceremony. Now, people will be like, oh, you know, I understand he had the one statement saying that he's doing this for other players who didn't get in on the first and second ballot. That's not, I mean, he said that now. But I happen to personally believe he's doing this because not that he didn't get in the first and second ballot, but for the reason they said he didn't get on the ballot. Now, we all know about Terrell Owens, and you know, people say he is a bad. You know, some people there's a conflicting idea. Some people say he was bad for the locker room. Some people say he wasn't. But that does not matter when it comes down to productivity on the field. I would like to point out my beautiful trophies, my beautiful things here. But anyway, get back to Terrell Owens. You know, when you're in the Hall of Fame voting committee, it's supposed to be all about football. Now, all throughout Terrell Owens' career, they were, you know, people wanted him to focus more on football. Don't talk about teammates. Don't talk about things that's going on in the locker room. You know, make it all about football. But when it comes time for him to be judged just about football, Bill Poley and the rest of the Hall of Fame voters decided to make it about, well, we thought he was bad for the team dynamic and bad for team chemistry. It has nothing to do with what he did in the field. He is arguably the second best receiver of all time. I think Randy Moss is more talented, but as far as giving your 100% every single game and the dog in you kind of talent, playing in the Super Bowl 40 yards, being the only reason the Eagles were even competitive in that game, you know, that supersedes whatever locker room conflicts that he's supposed to be going on from team to team to team. He produced on every single team he got to play for, period. So the Hall of Fame, using that bunk excuse, that's what spurred Terrell Owens to do what he did and say he ain't coming to the Hall of Fame. I can't disagree with him. I can't say I would exactly do the same thing, but I can't say I wouldn't. And he's going to win either way. Like I said, he wins either way. Because if he doesn't come, if he goes on through and has a ceremony at his private location like he's planning on doing, he can tell everybody there, there's going to be coverage there, and for the rest of his life, whenever somebody asks him why he didn't go to the Hall of Fame ceremony, he's going to tell them why. You know, because he didn't think it was fair, the reason that they used for keeping him out. I don't really think he's mad because he get on first and second ballot. If they had just said, oh, we think Marvin Harrison deserves to get in more, he would have been like, fine, he deserves to get more. He got a ring, whatever. I guess that's very important, whatever. You know, or if they just said, we just think these people deserve, you know, it's their time right now to get in right now, and it's your time. They just put it simply like that. Say it's not your time right now. But no, they went into detail specific and tried to assassinate his character after he'd been out of the league for more, you know, for 5 years already. So why you bringing up old shit, Bill Poley and the rest of y'all? You know, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? So, like I said, Terrell Owens is going to win either way, because if he think about it, All the guys that have gone through the Hall of Fame, there's a very select few out of the number of guys who play football, but he is the only one who can say, I didn't go, they still got a bust there, and I can go there whenever I want to go see my bust in the Hall of Fame. You know, he gets to talk about that forever, and he gets to talk about forever why he did it that way. So he's going to win either way. In the Hall of Fame, coming back with a rebuttal about, well, we're not going to honor him individually at the ceremony. We're not going to take away from the other guys. That's very petty on your part. That if you really wanted to make it like you were actually in the right in this situation, you should have just kept going par for the course and just show some clips of him. And like Terrell Owens is in the Hall of Fame, just kept the show moving. But you didn't have to make that announcement that you weren't going to individually give him his props. I think that's foul. That's a weak move on y'all part. Y'all weak for that. Weak. You know, Terrell Owens come out on top of this situation. You know, I don't care what nobody says. You know, people can disagree with it. You can disagree with what you want, but it's his right to do it. Like I said, he's gonna come out smelling like roses, and the legacy of his NFL career, and then how he handled this situation. You can't take it away from him. You can never take it away from him. You know, and it shows how petty some of these guys are when they say, "See how he's handling this? We knew we should let him in." That has nothing to do with football, man. The whole thing has to do with football. That's all I'm saying. What did he do on the field? Crush. And the fact that they would say these other personal issues outside of football makes no sense when they got Randy Moss getting in the first ballot the same year. I had a feeling they were going to do put both of them in because they're compared and contrasted so much throughout their careers. I had a feeling they was going to put them both in at the same time. But if you're going to talk about Terrell Owens off the field business, how about you talk about Randy Moss trying to run over meter maids downtown? I'm a Vikings fan, obviously. He did that while he was here. Yeah? Yeah? But we're gonna talk about personal business of why somebody should be in the Hall of Fame. Randy Moss shouldn't be in. We talking about I'm gonna play when I want to play, running over folks. What else? He did something else. Yeah, whatever. He actually broke the law. Terrell Owens has never broke the law. He's never beat a woman. He's never been arrested on drug charges. Never been that I know of. What else? Other bum football players do. He hasn't been caught up on any weapons charges. Hasn't been caught cheating. All he can be accused of is having a big mouth. Well, guess what? Half of pro athletes have a big mouth. That's you self-promote and become a pro athlete. That's what you do. You got a big mouth. You gotta have confidence that you're the best. And if you don't think you're the best at the pro level, then I don't know what you're out there for, anyways. You know. So Terrell Owens is going to win either way. Now, moving on, let's talk about the NBA a little bit, just a little bit. Scant amount. We're going to talk about the NBA because I'm going to tell you this right now. My viewing of the NBA was as much as it was this last season, which was half as much as the season before that. I don't have time for this shit. You know what I'm saying? What the hell Boogie Cousins doing to the Golden State Warriors? I don't know who to believe more. Well, I know who to believe more. I don't believe that nobody offered him no other contract. He couldn't go to another team. But I mean, if I was him, if I have Team A who has 2 championships in a row offering me for 1 year, and I got Team B over here, they haven't won shit ever, and they offer me about $5.5, $6 million a year for that 1 year. I'm gonna go with the champ too. But the fact that you can do that in the NBA nowadays is some bullshit. Because I happen to remember them vetoing the trade when Chris Paul was trying to play with Kobe Bryant. So why is it all of a sudden this team right here can put 5 All-Stars on one team and just keep adding to that shit? What's his name? David Silver? Adam Silver? Yeah, Adam Silver. He's been a good commissioner for the most part. But to me, he should almost be on the brink of having his ass decommissioned. How are you going to walk around with a Golden State Warrior jersey on? Huh? Now, if that ain't showing some bias ass shit, hey, man. We know what I'm biased to. Look around. Huh? Mm. But I'm not the NFL commissioner by any stretch of the imagination. Any stretch of the imagination. Adam Silver, if you wear a jersey, you should have all 30 teams on that shit, represented, like a collage jersey. You don't get to wear no Gold State Warrior jersey. Especially since they already set up this monopoly they got. Now, I can't say nothing about the three that were originally there. They drafted that like that. But Kevin Durant, you still a bitch to me. I don't care. I don't care if you got 2 MVP, finals, whatever the hell you got. Your 2 championships is equal to 1/2 of 1 championship for me because you have stacked the deck. But your Cousins, if you win a championship, I ain't gonna really count as when you're supposed to win. You're supposed to win. Y'all have been supposed to win the last 2 years. I'm not impressed with the 67 wins you got this year. I'm not impressed. I'm not. You didn't get 67. You got like underachieving ass. You weren't even the number 1 seed. I wanted, but the 67 before that, Kevin Durant's first year, I wasn't impressed with that. You got that much firepower, you're supposed to win no less than 75 games. In fact, if y'all don't win 80 games this year with you 5 bastards on the lineup, in the starting lineup, well, I don't count none of your championships then. I definitely won't count the championship. Y'all got to win 80 games. 80 games for me to be impressed. 80 games. I don't even want you to lose 2, really. But look at this way. People are like, oh, Boogie Cousins is going to be an add-on. He's not going to be one of the even the top 3 offensive weapons. Listen here, man. Any night that Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson ain't on, Steph Curry and Boogie Cousins are going to be on. Any night that Steph Curry and Boogie Cousins ain't on, Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant's going to be on. Any night that Klay Thompson and Boogie ain't on, it's going to be Steph. Hey, doesn't matter how you slice it, you're going to have 2 or 3 people dropping 65 to 70 points every night. Every night. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Nobody cares about LeBron going to LA. Nobody cares. So like I said, my viewing pleasure of the NBA will be about 1/4 of what it was 2 years ago. I don't want to see this shit. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. For anybody to dispute otherwise is also ridiculous. People were like, oh, well, Boogie Cousins doesn't really match the scheme. Hey, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. All they're going to tell him to do is when we throw the ball into you, you smash on whoever's in the paint with you. Get some rebounds. Every once in a while, shoot a 3. It might be 5 nights. Man, okay, maybe 12 nights this season. We might need you to get 25, 30. Boogie Cousins is going to be just fine in that system. You be like, oh, he don't run up and down the court that fast. Man, they're not. Listen, man, they're going to be just fine. They're going to be a well-oiled machine, and we'll be talking about the Golden State Warriors against probably the Celtics next year. It's not my opinion, but that's what's going to be going on. So, watch it. What's the point of watching the whole season? As far as I'm concerned, most I'll be talking about NBA is when somebody says something dumb and I'm clowning about it. Like Phil McGee decided to say something in the locker room. He gets himself on another couple of episodes of Shaq and the Fool. That'd be great. He probably think he's the Mac now. He got a couple of rings. Joining on that squad. I could have got a goddamn ring playing with him. Anyways, man, Golden State, Golden Stank. From now on, y'all stank. Y'all garbage. Y'all garbage. You had to get help to beat LeBron. You barely beat him when he was by himself in 2015. You couldn't beat him in 2016, even though I still question Draymond's suspension that year. It was fishy, but y'all still lost 3 games in a row. Come on, you still lost 3 in a row. You put Oklahoma City on them. And so, whatever, man. Y'all soft, as far as I'm concerned. Y'all soft. Draymond act like he hard, but he's soft too. Soft like butt meat. Anyway, booty meat. Anyways, moving on. We're going to talk about LeBron. Because I'm not going to talk about it long, though. He gets far too much coverage. I know the dude's good. I know he's the best in the world right now. He'll never be Mike. He'll never be the best of all time. Sorry, that just shit was said. I think right now, you can either be argued as tied with Kobe or right beneath Kobe. I don't think that you're clear head and shoulders better than Kobe. I don't. You have 3 championships, and you also have 3 custom-built teams. You custom built it in Miami, you custom built it in Cleveland, you came home, and you custom built it now. Kobe won 5, and he didn't get to custom build any of his things. Now you can say, oh, he had Shaq for 3 of them anyway. He had Shaq, okay, fine. He's still not 3 stars. He had him and Shaq for 3 of them. So he got 2 with him, Paul Gasol, and Metta World Peace, also known as the homie, I forgot his real name now. Oh, Ron Artest. So those were his best players, and a young Trevor Ariza. They got championships with that. And Wayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, Kyle Korver was a former All-Star. Even though Darren Williams, I don't know what the hell happened to you last year, he's a former All-Star. What I'm saying is LeBron has played with far more talent than he has handpicked and gone 3 and 6. Now I'm gonna take away some of those losses. 2007 loss to the Spurs, so that's 3 and 5. Okay, we're gonna take away the 2015 championship in Golden State because Kyrie and Kevin Love got hurt on the way to that. Now, and I also stick to that in that series, the 2015 series against Golden State, the first time they met, the officials started calling the fouls differently than they had in the first 3 games. When the Cavaliers were up 2-1, LeBron was going ham on those cats, like 43 points, 8 boards, 13 assists, whatever the hell he was averaging. He was killing. The officials stopped calling fouls at him going to the rim in game 4 and on, because he was going to beat them by himself, plain and simple. If they kept calling the fouls like they had been at the beginning of the series, Cleveland would have won that series. So I'm discounting that one right there because he didn't have no help and he still almost beat him by himself. So that'll put us at 3 and 2. Finally, I'm going to take away the 2017 NBA Finals, the first year of Kevin Durant, because nobody was winning that year. I don't care what anybody says. You take a 73-win team, you put the second best player on the planet, and that's a championship. You're supposed to win. So I'm gonna take that one away. This last year, I'm not gonna take that one away. You had a year to prepare. You knew it was coming. You had a year to stack, to get your team ready to stack them again like you've been doing, and you got swept the hell off the court. So to me, and so the Dallas Mavericks kicked your ass and the Spurs busted your head to the white meat. That one. So, basically, the times you lose, you get your doors blown in. When you took the Mavericks to 6 games, but you weren't supposed to lose that series at all. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? But so to me, LeBron, he's 3 and 3 or 3 and 4 in the finals. I'm gonna give him 3 and 3 because I don't think that first year Kevin Durant was ready anybody. This cat, please. Anyway, you got that, and Kobe is 5 and 2 in the finals by himself. Meaning without Shaq, he's 2 and 1 in the finals. That's still better than the 3 and that's still better than the 500 that you batting LeBron. Is all I'm saying. So I know that he has more assists. He's a better overall talented player as far as assists, making. And that's the thing that people understand. Like, sure, he always makes the right play, but the right play isn't always the right play at specific times of the game. Certain times you don't need to dish it off to somebody in the corner for a 3. In the final when the heat's on. Sometimes you should take the game over, period, because you can. You don't put it in nobody else's hands. You just take it over because you can. And that's what LeBron needs to do. Or he should have done in some of these last, these series. That 51-point game he had in game 1, hell no, you can't do that every night. You gotta try. As unfair as that sounds, you gotta try. You should have been doing that. You should have did that in 2011. 2011, he played the Mavericks. You over that then, But it wasn't there. But so for me personally, I'm not even putting LeBron at number 2. There's a lot of cats saying he's the second best player all time right now. Not for me, man. Supplant 11 rings like that, dog. You don't supplant 6-0 like that. I still think Magic's better than you, and Kareem. And the things I've been learning about Wilt the last little bit, man. Wilt Chamberlain, I can't, he got 2 himself, and he was a phenom. He was something that this league had never seen before. So I can't push you above him either, really. So LeBron, I dig that he went to LA. Everybody kind of knew he was going to LA, but it's kind of like I think he gets, he of course gets the praise he deserves. He gets praise because he's the best player in the world. But he gets also a lot more coverage and props than he should for what he's, he's lived up to the hype. Ever since they started covering him 16 on Sports Illustrated, he lived up to the hype. He is that deal. But he just hasn't become the best of all time, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, or even close to the best of all time. I think when it's all said and done, he will be close to the best of all time, and you can definitely rush more basketball. But I don't think he's there yet. He's cold as ice, cold piece, man. He does it all, but he hasn't done it all. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Mark? Now, let's talk about Timberwolves. Let's talk about Timberwolves. Even though they're not all going to be relevant this year, thank you, Gold State. Man, it's in the Timberwolves. Like even when you add somebody like Jimmy Butler, it still seems like you kind of been like a quagmire because he's good, but he's not like one of the top 5, 7 best. He might be at the top, maybe. And I don't even think he's top 7. But the Timberwolves need to learn to match player and coach better. Now, you let Sam Mitchell go when he had a young Carl Towns and Andrew Wiggins, 125 games. You didn't let them build on that because you're haters. And you bring in Tom Thibodeau, and he did almost the same thing the following year with players that are 1 year older. And this last year, how good of a coach are you when your current best player, but he won't be the best player in a year or so. Jimmy Butler won't be better. He might not be better than Karl Anthony Towns now. But when that dude goes down, you guys are the number 3 seed in the Western Conference. How is it, if you're such a good coach, that you guys are fighting for your playoff lives within a month and a half of this dude being out? Y'all couldn't win a couple more games, be 5, 6 seed. You should have fell in my humble opinion, you should have fell no farther than 5 or 6 with Jimmy Butler being on rotation, And I blame that. I put that partly on coaching because, you got 3rd-year Karl Anthony Towns. Andrew Wiggins has always been inconsistent in his 4th year. These are still young players, though. And you're supposed to be this guru coach. What happened to the defense? What happened to the defensive tenacity you're supposed to be bringing to the Minnesota Timberwolves? We was looking rough, boy. We looking mean. Boy, at the beginning of the year, all of a sudden, Jimmy Butler gets hurt. Y'all don't know how to do a damn thing. Not a goddamn thing. But I think the Timberwolves, granted that everybody stays healthy and they don't let too much of this supposed Jimmy Butler and Karl Anthony Towns beef, permeate to the team. They'll probably be number 4, number 3 seed, but they got to get it for coach. Thibodeau's not the deal. I don't think them young dudes like him. He looks like a penguin, long ass holes. All the expressions are the same, He doesn't look like he says much other than, come on. Like, it doesn't look like he says much stuff. He's hot all the time, like he might I don't wish it. I don't wish it, but it looks like you're about to have a heart attack any time, man. You know, it's sweating, man. You sweat me before the damn jump ball, dude. Ain't nobody done nothing. You sweating already. Shit. Yeah. Take a break, man. Anyways, so I don't see them making the strides they should have made by this time. You know, I'm a loyal fan of Invincibles fans. They're like 9 years old since their first year. They got on with Tony Campbell and them, and Mookie. What's his name? I think it was Mookie. Pooh Richardson. You know, all them cats. You know, back then. You know, I was still a Timberwolves fan, but y'all should know it felt a good thing. I'm still mad about Kevin Durant, and I'm still mad about y'all not drafting Steph Curry. I'm mad about it still. Mad. And you let go of Shabazz Muhammad, man. You know that's another thing with Coach Thibodeau. Like, how do you let go of somebody who's been productive off the bench every single year he's been in the NBA until you come along? Until you come along, you know, Thibodeau, with your fat ass, your no neck having ass, you know, it's like so things like that. You know, Jamal Crawford didn't want to stay for a reason. Probably because he, you know, he's like, man, there ain't no way we should be number 8 seed coming out of the West. Oh shit. I'm gonna stop talking about you. It makes me angry the more I think about it. Thibodeau. Like, you know, he's a Homer Simpson of coaches to me right now. Anyway, let's talk a little tennis. Give a shout out to the homie Serena Williams. You didn't get him this time, babe. You didn't get him this time, but you was close. You was close. You know, to find self. You know, he's still the best of all time. We know what the drill is with Serena Williams. You know what the drill is. You're gonna get her next time, and you're probably gonna end up with the most wins of all time for a female. You know, you're gonna win. I think you're gonna win. You're gonna have the most wins of all time for your respective sport, and I think you are the greatest. You know, she too bad. Y'all know about me as Serena, boy. I feel about Serena. You don't know how I feel about Serena. You really don't. You really do not know how I feel about Serena. But, you know, I probably commit homicide, right? I put a body on the body. Put a body on. Anyway, I would like to thank y'all for joining me. Those who did join me for this introduction to me going live on YouTube with Fassce. Now we'll talk to y'all soon. Holla at your boy. A classified natural Negro with Nigerian blood. My first shout out goes up to the creator above. The mama sign providing each other love in the grub. The 06